My tractor leaked all over my driveway. Thank goodness I'm taking this to the property this weekend. I can finally clean this driveway. Good morning, everyone. So, today's project, I need to fix this cluster here on my tractor, because as you can see, you can't read a dang thing. So, I'm going to take this off. I got a clear piece of plastic I'm going to replace this with. And also, all of the lights, I can't really tell which light is which. There's a light here, a light there, and a light there. I need to verify that those are all in the correct spots. And we're going to use the wiring diagram and kind of match those up, make a little cheat sheet. So let's get started. That's nice, it's held on by one screw. I think this is the tachometer right here. So yeah, here we go. I don't know what this is. I have to fix this. Here are our bulbs. I'm sure a couple of these are blown, but we're just going to match up all these wire colors and make sure they're all in the correct spots using the wiring diagram. So the easy part of all this, I think, will be changing the lens out. I think you just got to remove these screws, and then this splits apart and you can swap out the lens. This is why I bought this. It had 1,000 hours on it. The guy thought it had 10,000 hours, but he didn't realize the 6 was the tenths. But the joke's on me, because the thing actually has a little bit of blow by. Womp womp. That's seen better days. Okay. Alright, well, it turns out that these little clear things where the lights shine through, those things are pretty worn out. You can't actually tell what the symbol is anymore. They would have to be replaced. Even cleaning them's not doing anything. This thing got pretty dirty, but I don't want to mess around too much with this because these can be pretty delicate, and I don't want to damage these gauges. I actually don't even know if they work because I can't see. Well, I couldn't see on the old lens if it worked or not. So I'm just going to slam this back together, and I will come back and show you which lights are what using the schematic. So here's a look at the cluster in the service manual. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little cheat sheet. That's the battery, air cleaner restriction, transmission oil temp, oil pressure. And on the diagram you can see there's like little bulbs everywhere. Some of these are that go to the cluster, like I know these 3 do. And then there's one more somewhere. These are like tail lights, I think. We're just going to match up these colors. It's like red, green, something red. There's a key here somewhere for all these colors. I'm going to make a little cheat sheet, which one is which. Oh. Here's the key. So U is blue. Got my cheat sheet together. So from left to right, I just labeled each one 1 through 4. And then I marked down what color the wires are. Now I'm just going to go onto the tractor and find each individual one, put some tape on it, label them 1 through 4, and then get ready to put the new bulbs in and reinstall the cluster. Okay, using my cheat sheet, I got all of these sorted. We got 1, 2, 3, and 4. These two are for the cluster, just instrument lights. We corresponded all those to this, so I'm gonna put all this back together and we'll see all these bulbs work. All back together. Cool. Our lights are working. I'll fire this up later when it warms up. It's a little cold right now. But looks like we got lights. Very cool. I'm probably gonna label these with paint marker because I have no idea what they are. For this next segment, I thought I would take you through the adventure of transporting all this equipment 400 miles to my property. So let's get started with that story. So this journey begins with transporting my dozer up north, and I apologize, I mainly only have pictures of all this, so bear with me. But on Labor Day weekend, I got all my ducks in a row to transport the dozer up north. Wasn't supposed to be that hard. It was only about 10,000 pounds total. And I inspected all my tires and got everything ready. And I thought it would be a eventless transport. Turns out it was nothing but. So my property is 400 miles like directly north of Las Vegas. And this journey all started off really well and went well for like over 5 hours until the very first mishap occurred and I suffered my first blowout of the day. So no big deal, right? I'm a mechanic. I can change a tire. Wrong. Takes me like 90 minutes to change this tire because there's a 7,000 pound bulldozer on the trailer and my jack can't lift the trailer. So I spent a long time getting that thing jacked up. But then I got it fixed and I continue on my journey. And 2 miles away from the property, another blowout. At this point, it's starting to get dark and I'm starting to worry. And now we got major problems because I don't have a spare. I already used it. But luckily, there was a local shop that had the tire and they were able to change it out like within 30 minutes. So that was a big help. But this time, I was not going to change this tire with this dozer on here. So I decided I would drive it to the property. And that was another mistake. This bulldozer is so slow. It literally goes 2 miles an hour. So I spent 30 minutes going 1 mile. And then I ended up just parking it by another bulldozer that's in the neighborhood. And going back and I fixed the trailer and got it back on the property. And then the next morning, I drove the rest of the way with the dozer. And actually got quite a bit of work done before I ended up having to drive back. And then let me tell you about the drive back. It was all fine and dandy, and then in one of the dead zones, guess what? Another blowout and no cell service. But luckily, I had the foresight to get a spare tire put on back in town, even though it cost a fortune. And that was my saving grace. I ended up making it all the way home. So now, fast forward, I'm in trailer repair mode. I have to repair this fender because the last blowout blew this fender out. This wasn't that hard. I just welded it up. And I changed all of the tires on the trailer. All the tires are now brand new. I went with 12-ply tires all around. They're all rated 4,000 pounds each at 100 PSI. I should have no problems. So now we move on to transporting the skip loader up north. Oh, it's like 6 in the morning. Loaded up. Taking my loader to my property. You see what I said there? So this time, this was pretty uneventful for most of the drive. But 10 miles before getting to the property, you guessed it, another blowout. What is going on with this trailer? So this time, there's no way I'm jacking this up because this thing weighs 10,000 pounds. And I decided I'm going to drive it the rest of the way and then come back and fix the trailer. This wasn't that terrible of an idea because this is a lot faster than the bulldozer, but it was still pretty slow. I don't have that much experience using this thing yet, so you can see I backed off and dug the grader into the ground. And big thanks to my buddy Peter, who drove all the way out here with me and helped me get through this little challenging bit here. Yeah, if it wasn't for him, I would have been very frustrated. And he also got a bunch of the footage, so thanks, Peter. Oh man, then while driving this thing, the transmission fluid started leaking out through the fill cap because it was overfilled. So I'm driving down the street and this thing is just pouring transmission fluid out on the side of the road. I finally get about 5 miles in and decide I'm just gonna park this thing. It's starting to get late. I'm gonna go back, fix the truck or the trailer, and then we're gonna eat a celebratory burrito. And then after a good night's sleep, we came back the next morning, got the skip loader started up, which was kind of hard because it was cold, but she fired up, and then we got her to the property. And that was the end of that. So if you enjoyed that story, let me know in the comments. And please subscribe and like. I'm going to be posting more videos from my property as I continue to work on it. So as always, thanks for watching.